Life is a sacred journey. Every week, we bring a new perspective to aging and caregiving. Here is your host, Micheal Pope.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the virtual neighborhood of Life is a Sacred Journey. I am your host, Micheal Pope, and it is so exciting to be with you here this morning. It's Friday morning, and so it's the end of the week, and we are looking forward now, boy, to February. Next week we will be in the month of love and also Black History Month, and I'm sure that if I looked at my calendar, there's a lot more things. President's Day happens in February, so it's the shortest month and has a lot of activity. So we're looking forward to February because we will be having new folks coming to visit us here at Life is a Sacred Journey, and I'm excited about that. More people coming and sharing not only their books or things that they're doing in the community. So get your cup of coffee, get your cup of tea, water, orange juice, and grab a piece of paper today because I'm going to be talking about a couple of things that are important to me. One of them is the Zoom fatigue, because I had a day on, I think it was Tuesday, where I started with Zoom at 7 a.m. and then my last Zoom connection ended at 9. So all day I had something happening for a couple of hours, and one of the longest meetings was 3.5 hours on Zoom. And that evening, I had a really hard time falling asleep. I've given up drinking more than 1 or 2 cups of coffee a day, so I know it wasn't that, and that never did affect my sleep. I'm just giving it up because it's really affecting my stomach, the amount of coffee that I drink. But it was so amazing that I was overstimulated and I had some work to do. So when I went to sit at the computer, I found it very, very difficult and very hard on my eyes, my back, as I was just saying to Leon, who is back here with me, that I just have a hard time getting comfortable now in a chair. I always feel like a fidgety kid because I can't, I'm trying to get my posture right, and I'm trying to pay attention to what's happening on the screen during the Zoom meeting and all of that. So I looked it up and did some research after this moment of panic kind of that I had about what was going on with me, and looked up Zoom fatigue. And it really is a new phenomenon that is occurring with individuals because of the pandemic. One, we started using Zoom not only for work, but for communicating with family and friends and having funerals. All that. We started living our lives through this wonderful, Zoom is an incredible tool, but it is causing fatigue for many of us. So, and it says that women, 1 in 7 women, so that's 13.8% out of 10,322 women that were questioned for the study, 1 in 7 reported to be extremely fatigued after Zoom calls, and 1 in 20 men, so 5.5% of the 10,000 plus people that were a part of the study and the evaluation. And this was done by David Neild, and it was through Harvard, and it's an article that it's called Humans. And so they've heard about the fatigue. A psychologist at Stanford, Jeff Hancock, says that it's also just having to stare at yourself. I never know where to look. So this is my problem when I'm on a Zoom call. I know looking ahead makes it easier for people looking at, like, the gallery is what they call it, for the people in the gallery. But at the end of the day, it's harder on me staring at myself. So I have a tendency, I'm going to fix this light here, you guys. I have a tendency of looking at the people who are talking. And so that also is very frustrating because unless it's set up for the speaker to take the full screen, you may have 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Then I'm searching for the face that's lips are moving, And that's hard. So it's because you never get to see the panoramic view if it's more than one page of everybody. So he spoke about this. He says the mirror anxiety helped to explain a lot of the differences in the fatigue levels between men and women, though it wasn't the only reason for the discrepancy. It also emerged that women feel more trapped by having to stay in the camera's field of view and tend to have longer meetings than men on average and typically take fewer breaks. So previous research had shown that women are more likely to focus on themselves while looking in the mirror, and it seems the Zoom window is similar. So we're ripping ourselves apart while we're watching ourselves on Zoom. They also said personality, age, and race also play parts in how much video calling weariness you might feel. And the researchers found introverts, younger people, and more anxious individuals and people of color all reported higher levels of fatigue to some extent. So I thought that was interesting too, for whatever the reasons. And then he goes on to say, it is really society that is bearing the cost of the pandemic and the length of the pandemic, that socially we're moving into a new construct. And so Zoom is pushing us there. And so it's not a bad thing that we have Zoom, but we also have to do our own due diligence to our own self-help when we're using Zoom in such a way. So I looked up how to combat Zoom fatigue, and this also was done by the Harvard Business Review. Liz Fosseline and Molly West Duffy are the authors of this paper. And what I found in here was very interesting, because more and more now I've been getting, prior to Zoom meetings, notifications saying, please have your camera on. And what they're saying is, turn the camera off every once in a while. So that's one thought, one idea. But I'm gonna read the things that they shared in the article. They say avoid multitasking. So hard to do. Whenever I'm in a Zoom meeting, I have my email is up, everything is up. So they say stop multitasking, stop looking at your phone, stop trying to answer an email, start writing. If you can, if the person who is hosting the meeting is willing to have a note taker or record it and send the notes later, just really just be engaged if you can. I know a lot of my meetings require me to take notes. So those kinds of things, but stop the multitasking, because they said 40% of your productive time is spent then not focusing, and that having to move your brain back and forth from one activity to the other, whilst also paying attention and to look engaged and like you're paying attention, is really also creating a great deal of fatigue when you're on Zoom. They also said to build in breaks, mini breaks from the video, especially in those longer calls. So this also applies to those of us that set up meetings, putting those 10-minute breaks, put breather breaks, allow people to get up and move, and even make it a part of the agenda so that people do not get as fatigued engaging in the meeting. I thought this was interesting. They said reduce on-screen stimuli. And I thought, so what basically what they're saying is this scene here, but this is a podcast, so this is different. So you're getting to see the candle burning in the background. You're seeing some of my affirmations behind me. But what they're saying is when you're in meeting mode, it's really best to not have backgrounds. I was like, wow. And they said, this is what it says. You may be surprised to learn that on video, we not only focus on others' faces, but on their backgrounds as well. If you're on a call with 5 people, you may feel like you're in 5 different rooms at once. You can see their furniture, plants, and wallpaper. You might even strain to see what the books they have on their shelves that they have behind them. The brain has to process all these level of visual stimulus and cues at the same time. To combat mental fatigue, encourage people to use plain backgrounds, poster of a peaceful beach scene, and agree as a group to have everyone who is not talking turn off their video. So, again, that's something that everybody in the meeting or the host of the meeting or the agenda setter would have to be in dialogue with people about. But yeah, it's interesting. Turn off the video. Make virtual social events opt in. Make a virtual social events opt in. And it says after a long day of back-to-back video calls, it's normal to feel drained, particularly if you're an introvert or anyone. I feel anyone. That's why virtual social sessions should be kept opt in. So they're saying if you're doing something in a virtual mode and it is fun, don't shame, blame people if they don't show up. Make it an opt-in and an opt-out. They can opt in for a few minutes and they can opt out. And they also said make it fun. Make it so that people have to get up and move around and you can just hear their voice in the background doing things or whatever. But make it interactive in a way that they're not just sitting, having to be in the camera this way. And I thought that was, and they said switch back to phone calls. Don't do everything on Zoom. I did that yesterday. We had a conference call with one of our managed care providers, and we did it over the phone. We emailed each other what we needed, the agenda and the content of the meeting, and we did a phone conversation. So switch to the phone. And they say avoid defaulting to video, especially if you don't know each other well. So, using videos and defaulting to that being that you send it for someone to view. They said that's, default from doing that because they're finding that it's much better if you, pick up the phone, send an email. Okay, so that's my first pondering is on Zoom fatigue and the things that you can do to combat it. So good morning, everybody, and welcome again to Life is a Sacred Journey. I'm your host, Micheal Pope, and you are at our 20-something pondering this morning. And now, as I promised, I did receive an email from one of our viewers asking if we would go over the 5 wishes Advocate Toolkit. So this is the 5 Wishes Advocate Toolkit. You can get it free online, and it goes through it's done by a program through Aging with Dignity. You can also find it on their website, but if you just put in the 5 wishes, you will find it. And what the 5 wishes is I'm going to read it for you. It's a way to engage with your family and loved ones on what your 5 wishes are for end of life preparation. And so it goes through all of the things that you would want to talk to a family member about. It actually does say prepare a video or a written testimonial about the 5 wishes for your family. Have a community presentation yourself if you're thinking that this is something you want to share with others. But the 5 wishes is a key messaging to your family on the 5 areas that are important to end of life: hospital, a congregate living, your funeral arrangements, all of those things, the comfort things that you want at the end of life, how to prepare, how to engage with your loved ones on all of those kinds of things. And I think it's just about planning. We talked about that, and we've been talking about that for a very long time. And so what we're going to do here at Life is a Sacred Journey is that we're going to put together a short video that you'll be able to get on Patreon or on our website, and it will be going through all of the 5 wishes. It is a deep content, so I won't be going through it in its entirety this morning, but just to remind you that you can find it and it is a great toolkit, and it is accepted in the state of California. There are some states across the United States that still don't accept it as a legal document, but in California, it is accepted as a legal document. So that's the 5 wishes. Good morning, everybody. Again, I don't know who's out there, but good morning. It's good to see. I can see that there are fewer of you here this morning. I'm wondering if this platform is working for you, but let us know. So anyway, this is, I've got to back up a little bit. This is I don't know what you call this. It's a piece of art is what it is. I bought it at the Wine Festival and Art Festival in Walnut Creek, California, many, many years ago. It hangs on the wall in my bathroom, and it's a piece. It was done in 2018 by a beautiful artist named Mary Beyer, Beyer. She's located in Sacramento, art.com. And I got this because it's a beautiful to-do list, and it's in my bathroom. So I see it every morning as I wash my face and brush my teeth and all of that, and I recite them. So I wanted to share it with you. So it says, to do, start happy. And then in parentheses, it says, or go back to bed. I can't always go back to bed, but I love the idea of starting happy. Start happy. And then the second one is loosen up. I don't know if you can see, I'm gonna bring it closer. Loosen up, loosen up. Under loosen up, it says be inspired. That's really hard sometimes, particularly during this time of COVID, to go out into the world and be inspired by anything that we see. But I think that if we just kind of use a different lens, a different pair of glasses, we can be inspired by everything. I was inspired by a squirrel navigating the traffic this morning. He froze for a minute in the middle of one lane, but then realized that was a bad idea and scurried across the street. I was inspired by this squirrel. So be inspired. The next is give love always. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can. Give love always. And that one, and then it has a peace sign in the O of love. Just give peace, be peace, give love always. It's hard sometimes. Sometimes people are very mean and very distracting in a negative way. But, we got to always get back to it. I had one of those moments. I had a really bad moment, a really angry moment this week. And I was so upset with myself for allowing my emotions to go into a helter-skelter, chaotic place. So give love always. I love this one. Take more vacation, something that I don't do enough of, but I'm going to start doing more of. Get outside. Get outside. Go for a walk. It says kiss as much as possible. Well, I don't know. I know that some people look at kissing from a romantic place, but I know that, I kiss people all the time. And I love the double kiss. I do that all the time. So kiss as much as possible. Hard with COVID, but you can always blow a kiss. Sing in the car. Yes, sing in the car. Sing in the car. Even if you think you have an awful voice, you sound wonderful in the car. You look good doing it. Sing in the car. Have more fun is the next one. Be real, be true, be you. Wow, big lesson. Took me a long time to grasp that I was okay just the way I am, even though I may be too loud for some people. I may be too spiritual for others. I may be too black for somebody. I may be this, I may be that. But you know what? I'm going to be real, be true, and I'm going to be me. And I'm not going to do it to harm other people, because I'm going to go all the way back up here and give love always. But this is going to be my mantra for the rest of this season of my life, because I am in the winter season, and it's a wonderful season, but you can't give it up. Give up your true self for others, because then you're not being authentic and you're miserable, and then therefore there's no value. Stop complaining. And then in parentheses, it says, yes, you. Oh my goodness, stop complaining. Yes, you. I'll leave it at that. I know people that complain all the time about everything, and sometimes I don't even think that they stop to think how grateful they should be that they're even alive to complain. Interesting. Find more time. This is a big one for me. Thank you, all my friends out there who are constantly reminding me to make time for me, but finding more time for me and for yourself, to be alone, to be in your quiet place, in your meditation place, your spiritual place. Find more time. Laugh hard every day. I love laughter. I love the laughter of a child. I just saw I guess it was a Twitter or TikTok, I don't even know. But the little baby was cracking up and it was rolling and we so restrict ourselves. Laugh hard today. Even if it's at yourself. The other one says breathe deep, relax, and then and we'll do a breathing exercise before we close momentarily. And then it says chill out, and then at the bottom it says end happy. So this is your to-do for the upcoming week. Start happy, or the weekend. Start happy or go back in bed, do a little vibration thing, and then get up and try it again. You'll have a minute to do that this weekend. Loosen up, be inspired, give love always, take more vacation, get outside this weekend, kiss as much as possible, even if it's kiss yourself, blow kisses at other people, sing in the car, have more fun, be real, true, and you. Stop complaining. Yes, you. Stop complaining. Find more time for self. Find more time for the people you love. Find more time. Laugh hard today. Breathe deep. Relax. Chill out and end happy. So those are really good things that we can take into our weekend. And I want to thank you all the time for coming to Life is a Sacred Journey. We do have many guests lined up beginning February, and they will be joining us here at Life is a Sacred Journey so that we can, you can get rid of me and my ponderings. But I want to thank you for coming and showing up and being you, being real, being you. And take a deep breath now. I want you to take a moment, all of you that are out there in the Life is a Sacred Journey neighborhood, and I want you to just close your eyes for a few minutes. Just close your eyes and listen to the silence of this morning wherever you are. I hope it is silent where you are. Or if it's not silent, you can hear the tires on the pavement. There may be a bird that's making noise in the background, or not noise, singing in the background, or chirping. There may be I know on my roof this morning, I heard the squirrels chasing each other in a game of tag. Just hear those things that are in your community and around you in your house this very moment. Hopefully you hear your heartbeat. And now take a deep breath. Take it in and then blow out. Breathe in. Blow out. One more time. Breathe in and blow out. All right. Thank you for joining us on Life is a Sacred Journey. We're going to end early. Well, not early, really, a little bit on time, a half hour. We try to only keep you for 30 minutes, but when we have guests, we sometimes go over because it's so wonderful to talk to people. I want to thank all of you for joining us on Life is a Sacred Journey. Let us know in the comment if this platform is working for you. What we're doing is we're going straight through Facebook. I'm not really sure because I think this morning we had a little bit of a glitch because we did have to hit the start button because we thought it was going to start on time. So if it's keeping many of you from joining us, let us know and we'll go back to what works for you because this is about you and it's not about us. So I want you to know Felicia is feeling better and Leon is back here at my side, and I'm just so thankful to all of you. So go outside. Skylar Rhodes said last week that he went out and hugged a tree. And I know that it was a great experience because he was in the snow and the cold, and trees just give off such great vibrations. So go out and hug a tree. Hug it. I mean, really hug it. Hold on to it and let it know that you care about it. Take time and look up at the sky. I've been seeing pink, like a color of pink in the clouds. And I don't know, I have to look and see what creates that. There's some gases or something going on. Look up at the sky. Last night, I got up and I went out to let the dog out. And while I was out there waiting in the cold, I looked up at the sky and the stars were sparkling. There was no fog in my area. And I just thought, oh my gosh, how magnificent the sky is. And I'm just a microscopic little tiny person in the whole scheme of everything, but how wonderful and how thankful I am to be alive. I was thinking in the car this morning that, many of you have known me in the better seasons of my life, but I've had dark moments, and in my 20s, I was a very bad, ugly person inside. I hated myself, and so therefore, my ability to love others was 0 to 0. And I was thinking in the car today, as I'm going into this, what I call the winter season and winter not meaning bad, but I know that my days on this planet will not match the days I've already experienced. And I thought, wow, you're here. I was driving just thinking, you're here. And you're alive, and you get to do it over, and you've overcome so much. And so I say that to all of our folks that are experiencing anxiety, depression, suicide thoughts. One day, if you just hold on, you're going to look back on this moment and you're going to say, wow, I made it. And you're going to have a story to tell as I tell my story for others to know there's survival in life. There's survival. There are people out there that will help you. There will always be people who hate you. That's the one thing that I have now learned. Hate is something that some humans seem to eat like we drink coffee or tea or drink water every day. And then they spew it out like a virus to others. But there are great people out there. There are people out there with a heart of compassion, with a heart of empathy, with a heart of understanding that they're not any more special than you or me or anybody else, that we are a collective. We get caught up in what schools we went to and what degrees we have and what credentials we own and what denominations of faith we practice. I don't care if you believe as I believe or not. I don't. I would hope that everybody understands that we don't do anything alone, and that there is a human vibration, and there's something bigger than all of us, because there's no human that could have created any of this. But poof, one day we wake up and we realize, just like that, like a magic wand, poof, that we're not the center of the universe, that we are on this planet with many, many others, and that we have to walk gently with each other. And we have to honor each other for the creation that they are and allow them to be who they are without our personal judgment, just because we are not like them or we don't practice their practices or whatever. And even the people who are angry and mean and spew hatred, we cannot be angry with them in the way that I think that I have been, because I've begun to realize, and I'm beginning to document in my journal, we've created those angry, mean, disgusting people who murder and mayhem, a society that has adopted behaviors and allowed the value system of how we treat each other to become secondary to things, and all of that promotes and gives homage to hatred. And so we have to be careful when we point fingers, because if we benefit from the spewing of the hatred, then we must be courageous and say it stops with us. Hard, hard, and hard. All hard stuff. So, my friends, all of you out at the Life is a Sacred Journey family, 2022 is now really upon us. We end January, so I read somewhere that we can't say Happy New Year anymore, and I don't know who decided that. So Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. But more importantly, can we try, can we try, just try every day to look at our lives and say how grateful we are to ourselves, and then realize how grateful we need to be if we have shelter and food, a little bit of money in the bank, or even if no money in the bank, but we have the ability to earn income. We are blessed. We are much better off than others. So let's just be grateful for everything that we have. And let's have an attitude of gratitude as we move forward into the weekend. So it is always my honor to be with you here at Life is a Sacred Journey. I'm excited about all the guests that will be joining us, and I'm just really excited about that, and beginning to have more dialogue outside of my head to share with you. And I want to thank Felicia for the wonderful work that she does, for Leon for being here every Friday, sitting next to me to help me with all of the technical difficulties that I have no patience for and do not understand. And then lastly, I want to thank, and upmostly, I want to thank all of you, because you're the reason that Life is Sacred Journey exists. You're the reason that I show up every Friday, no matter what. And I'm thankful for the privilege to be your friend. Thank you for the privilege for learning more about myself than I could have ever imagined. So have a great weekend, and I'll say it one more time. Go out and hug a tree, pet a dog, pet a cat, watch a squirrel. I'm going to add that. Watch a squirrel. They're amazingly funny. They'll make you laugh so hard that you'll get some of the things done on the to-do list that I shared with you this morning. All right, you guys, have a great weekend, and I'm sending you a big hug. Peace and love. Be well. Bye-bye.